The house stood at the edge of the small town, surrounded by old trees and long shadows. It had once been full of voices, laughter, and careless footsteps, but now it seemed to listen more than it spoke. Anna returned there after many years away, carrying only one suitcase, and a weight she could not name. Her father had died quietly in his sleep, and the news reached her through a short phone call that left no space for questions. She had not been back since the day she left at 18, believing that distance could erase the past. As she unlocked the door, the smell of dust and was wrapped around her like a memory that refused to fade. Every room looked smaller than she remembered, yet every detail felt painfully sharp. The living room couch still faced a window where her mother used to sit in the evenings, waiting for someone who never came. The clock on the wall was broken frozen at the same hour, as if time had decided to stop here. Anna walked slowly, touching the furniture, as if to confirm it was real. She told herself she was here only to settle affairs and leave again, but her heart beat faster with every step deeper into the house. In the kitchen, she found a note written in her father's careful handwriting, saying that something should be talked about when the time comes. The words unsettled her, because time had already come and he was no longer there. That night she slept in her old room, listening to the wind and the distant sound of a train. She dreamed of her childhood of arguments whispered behind closed doors, and of her younger brother Mark, who had stayed behind when she left. In the morning, Mark arrived unannounced, standing in the doorway, looking older than his years. Their greeting was awkward, filled with pauses and careful smiles. They spoke about practical matters, about the funeral, about papers and debts, but avoided the space between them. Anna noticed how Mark avoided looking at their parents' bedroom, and how his hands trembled when he poured coffee. She realized that while she had escaped this place, he had been shaped by it. As the day went on, tensions surfaced in small ways, a sharp word, a long silence, a door closed too hard. In the evening, they sat together at the table, surrounded by memories neither of them dared to name. Anna felt a growing sense that her father's death was not the end of something, but the beginning of a truth long buried. The house seemed to press in around them, waiting for what would be said next, and Anna understood that leaving again would not be so simple this time. Morning brought a thin winter light that made the house look pale and unfamiliar. Anna woke early and found Mark already downstairs, sorting through a stack of documents on the dining table. He had spread them out like a map he could not read, bills from the hospital, notices from the bank, and letters with official stamps. Mark tried to act calm, but his jaw stayed tight, as if he was holding his breath. Anna sat across from him and asked what their father had left behind. Mark answered in fragments. There was a small life insurance policy, not enough to cover everything. There was debt from the last year, more than Anna expected. And there was something else, a letter from a lawyer, that Mark had not opened until she arrived. He slid the envelope toward her with a look that asked her to share the burden. Anna opened it carefully and read about an appointment scheduled for the day after the funeral. The lawyer wanted both of them present. The message was polite yet urgent. Anna asked Mark why he had not mentioned it before. Mark shrugged and said he did not know what it meant, and he did not want to stir trouble. Trouble was a word that made Anna feel 13 again, hearing her mother say it when she tried to explain bruises on her heart that no one could see. They spent the day preparing for the funeral. Neighbors stopped by with casseroles and saw condolences. People spoke about their father as a hard-working, quiet man. Anna nodded and thanked them, but she felt detached, as if they were describing someone else. She watched Mark accept their sympathy with stiff politeness, and noticed how his eyes kept drifting to the hallway leading to their parents' bedroom. When she asked him if something was wrong, he said he was just tired. Later, Anna went into their parents' bedroom alone. The air felt colder there. The bed was made too neatly, and on the nightstand she found her mother's old hairbrush and a faded photograph of all four of them smiling at the beach. Her mother had been gone for years, yet her presence still lingered in the way the curtains hung and the way the closet door never fully closed. Anna opened the closet and found boxes stacked in the corner. In one box she discovered letters tied with a ribbon. They were addressed to her mother, but the handwriting was not her father's. Anna felt a sudden heat in her chest. She had no right to read them, yet she also felt she had no right to keep living with half a story. She opened one letter and read a few lines about longing and regret, and a promise that one day things would be different. The date was from the year Anna turned 16. The year she remembered as the year her mother cried in the bathroom and her father stopped speaking at dinner. Anna put the letter back quickly and retied the ribbon, as if that could undo what she had seen. That evening Mark found her in the kitchen staring at nothing. He asked what was wrong, and Anna almost told him about the letters, but the words stuck. Instead, she asked him if he ever felt like they did not really know their parents. Mark laughed once without humor and said he knew them too well. His voice broke on the last word. Anna pushed gently, asking what he meant, but Mark stood up abruptly and walked outside. Through the window, she saw him pace the yard like a man trying to outrun his own thoughts. When he came back and his eyes were red, and he said he was sorry, Anna said she was sorry too, though she was not sure for what. They sat in silence until Mark finally spoke in a low voice. He said that after Anna left, things got worse. Their father drank more. Their mother disappeared into herself. Mark said he was the one who found her the night she left a note and never came back. Anna had always believed her mother simply walked away. Hearing this felt like a door opening into a room she had avoided all her life. Anna whispered that she did not know. Mark answered that, of course, she did not. She was gone. The words hit Anna like a slap, even though they were true. She tried to apologize, but Mark shook his head. He said apologies did not change the past. Then he added something quieter. He said their father had been trying to make things right before he died. He said the lawyer appointment was part of it. Anna asked what he meant, but Mark looked away and said they would find out soon enough. That night, Anna lay awake listening to the house. She could almost hear the letters in the closet whispering. She could almost hear her mother's voice. And beneath it all, she felt the weight of the truth that had waited years for her return. The funeral was held under a gray sky that seemed heavy with unspoken words. People gathered close, offering comfort that felt rehearsed and distant. Anna stood beside Mark, listening to the pastor speak about forgiveness and peace. The words fell hollow. As the coffin was lowered, Anna felt a strange mix of grief and anger. She mourned not only the man her father had been, but also the man he never became. Mark remained rigid, his hands clenched, as if he were holding himself together by force alone. After the service, they returned to the house, where the silence felt louder than before. The lawyer appointment loomed in both of their minds, though neither mentioned aloud. That afternoon, Anna finally confronted the box of letters again. She took it into her room and read more carefully this time. The letters were from a man named Thomas. He wrote about loving her mother deeply and about being unable to protect her from a life that hurt her. He mentioned waiting and losing hope and making mistakes of his own. One letter spoke about a child that might grow up believing a lie. Anna felt dizzy as she read that line again and again. She realized the letters were not just about an affair, but about a secret that shaped their entire family. When Mark came into her room, she was still holding one of the letters. She did not try to hide it. Mark froze when he saw what she had found. His face drained of color, and he sat down heavily on the bed. Anna asked him if he knew. Mark nodded slowly. He said their father had told him the truth the night before he died. He said their mother had loved another man before and after marriage, and that Anna was not their father's biological child. The words fell between them like broken glass. Anna felt her chest tighten and her ears ring. She asked why no one told her. Mark said their father was afraid and ashamed, and that he wanted to protect the family, even if it meant living a lie. Mark added that their mother had wanted to tell Anna many times, but never found the courage. Anna laughed in a short, sharp sound that surprised even her. She said it explained everything and nothing. She felt betrayed, yet strangely relieved. So many moments suddenly made sense: the distance, the arguments, the way her father looked at her, sometimes with sadness rather than anger. Anna asked Mark how he felt knowing this. Mark said he felt tired. He had carried the truth alone for years, believing it was his burden to bear. He admitted he had resented Anna not because of who she was, but because she got to leave while he stayed to clean up the pieces. Anna felt tears finally come. She apologized again, this time knowing it would not fix anything, but needing to say it anyway. Mark did not reject it this time. He said he did not blame her for leaving. He said he blamed the silence that had poisoned their home. The next day, they went to see the lawyer. The office was small and smelled of old books. The lawyer spoke, gently explaining that their father had changed his will shortly before his death. He had set aside money to find Thomas and to give Anna the choice to meet him if she wished. There was also a letter from their father addressed to both of them. In it he wrote about regret and fear, and about loving them both even in his failures. He asked Mark to forgive him, and asked Anna to understand that love was not always simple or clean. Anna felt overwhelmed. The idea that her father had tried to make amends both comforted and hurt her. After the meeting, Anna and Mark walked in silence for a long time. Finally, Anna said she did not know if she wanted to meet Thomas. Mark said she did not have to decide now. He said whatever she chose, he would stand by her. The simple statement felt like a bridge slowly being built. That evening back at the house, they talked more openly than they ever had before. They spoke about their childhood, honestly about fear and loneliness and small moments of kindness that kept them going. The house felt different, as if it were listening but no longer judging. Anna realized that the past could not be changed, but it could be faced. And for the first time, she believed that something new might grow from all that had been broken. The days that followed felt slower, as if time had decided to give them space. Anna stayed longer than she planned. Each morning, she and Mark shared coffee at the table, speaking about ordinary things and about difficult ones with equal care. The house no longer felt like a trap, but like a witness. Anna spent hours walking through town, remembering who she had been and seeing who she had become. She thought about Thomas often. The idea of a stranger connected to her by blood stirred curiosity and fear. One afternoon, she finally told Mark she wanted to meet him. Mark nodded without surprise. He said he had hoped she would choose for herself. The meeting was arranged quietly in a small cafe outside town. When Thomas arrived, Anna recognized something familiar in the way he stood, unsure where to put his hands. He looked older than she imagined, but his eyes softened when he saw her. They spoke carefully at first, exchanging simple facts. Thomas told her about her mother, about how she loved the ocean and feared stillness. He admitted his failures and his long silence. Anna listened without interruption. She felt no sudden rush of belonging, only a calm understanding. She realized she did not need him to fill a space. That space had been shaped by many people and many choices. When they parted, Thomas thanked her for coming and said he wished her peace. Anna returned home lighter. That evening she told Mark everything. He listened and then smiled faintly. He said he was glad she found what she needed. The next day they began sorting the house, deciding what to keep and what to let go. It was not easy, but it felt right. Anna chose a few small things, a photograph, a book with notes in the margins. Mark chose others. Together they cleared the rest. On her last night, Anna stood in the doorway of the quiet house. She felt sadness but also gratitude. The past no longer felt like an anchor. It felt like a foundation. She hugged Mark and promised not to disappear again. Mark believed her. As Anna drove away, she understood that family was not defined by secrets or blood alone, but by the courage to face the truth together and to choose each other despite